Utah's governor, Gary fucking Herbert. Yes, that is his middle name. It really is.
And I have personal reasons for disliking this man.
So, I mean, there's lots of them. Yeah. And this is going to add to that pile because he's made it very clear that he's not going to be supporting the medical marijuana initiative that's on the November ballot because people care enough about it that they've received enough signatures to have this as a ballot initiative.
Right.
Which to do in Utah is a lot of fucking work.
It is, and also holds zero teeth because a ballot initiative, if approved by the public at large, the Senate, the state Congress can just fuck off and not do it.
Yeah, which is exactly what we're facing here. So
what's going to happen?
Herbert recently signed House Bill 197. This is local news, people, so get over the fuck over it. It's called the Cannabis Cultivation Amendments, and it creates a framework for licensed physicians to recommend cannabis for their patients only if they're on death's bed. You have to have 6 months to live to
Are
get
you
this
shitting me?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah. No, it's a shit bill. It really is.
Yeah, it says that it paves the way for establishment of lawful cannabis dispensaries, which are run by the state, just like our liquor stores. Hey, how about that? And allows for the implementation of careful safeguards for the use of medical cannabis.
Really? Safeguards?
You're not going to overdose on weed, guys. It's
like, what kind of safeguards do they think that you can't buy Oreos and weed at the same time? Is that it?
You can't get Doritos and weed at the same time. And pizza rolls. If you try to buy all three, man, you're going to be on some federal watch list.
I'm about to legally consume a far more dangerous drug.
Yeah, me too.
I consumed all of mine.
Delicious. So Herbert says that he fully supports the, quote, science-supported use of substances. First, I'm not doing his voice right. Science-supported use of substances that, under medical supervision, can improve lives. Que pasa? I mean...
Oh, God.
Oh, God, I hate this man.
I hate him so much.
Okay, so here's the main point that I want you guys to take away here. He supports his House Bill 197 because this is a good way to do it. However, the Utah Patients Coalition has been working to bypass the legislature and to take the issue of medical marijuana directly to the voters, which is why it's on the fucking ballot this November. They've got plenty enough signatures that's going to be there. However, it's an initiative that Herbert says has significant flaws.
Like what?
Well, let me say that here. It says, I believe the consequences of this initiative, even if they are unintended, will do more harm than good, he said. I will actively oppose the medical cannabis initiative.
Of course. More harm. Okay.
He's such a shit.
Okay.
He's a killjoy.
I personally believe that whether or not they're consciously thinking about this way, it's about control, right? So Christianity,
it's Utah. Of course it's about control.
Yeah, Christianity.
It's not their idea, so they, Mormonism,
it's another idea. Mormonism borrows from Christianity forever. And they actively value suffering, right? Like their church talks about all the time. Oh, I struggle with these things and I struggle with these things, but that's part of being that's part of their identity. And so
God made me gay, but I can't act upon it, so I'm going to be as forthright as I can for the rest of my life.
As I possibly can,
Suffering is a huge part of their religion, and that is because religions thrive off of exploiting vulnerable people who are suffering in order to further their ideas. That's how they fucking function. They cannot function outside of suffering. So any minimalization of suffering therefore undermines the religion. It's funny. It's almost like when people have the freedom to think about their lives because they're not worrying about paying for their rent or paying for their food or not having constant pain. Their minds are freed up to think about other issues. That's partially why white men dominated atheism.
Yeah. So DJ Sean's, not like DJ, like he spins records on the weekend and everything, but that's his initials. He's from the Utah Patients Coalition, and he says the following. While we appreciate the governor weighing in on medical cannabis, his comments are another example of what Utahns have grown tired of. Politicians standing between patients and physicians.
You guys had a guy. You had a guy it's clearly the popular thing in Utah. Everyone wants medical cannabis. Everyone in Utah. Like, okay, not everyone, but like the vast majority of people. You had a guy, and I worked for him. You had a guy, and you didn't vote for him. Holy shit. You had a guy.
It's amazing to me that we're constantly having to go towards ballot initiatives to get this shit done because our own legislators are not listening to us.
You had a guy.
And at the same time, these legislators are going to continue to get voted in term after term after term.
Right. Talk to your legislator. Talk to your representatives. Talk to them.
Vote them out. Vote them out.
That'd be great.
Oh my God, we have the power. I know I was on this campaign. We had the power. The demographics are there. You just have to
fucking vote. Yes. Fucking vote. And you know what? After you vote.
Be a swing state. It's true. It's true. It's true.
Oh.
It's true. You don't even have a
fucking
majority.
Apathy pisses me off.
Have a majority of the population that's registered Republican.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're registered independent mostly. Mm-hmm. They're registered independent. We have it. Vote. Fucking do it. We can be a swing state. We can do it. Just fucking, God damn it, you had a guy.
And this comes from the Libertas Institute. President Connor Boyack says that, Boyack, had issued the following statement in response to Herbert's opposition to the ballot initiative out there. He said, "It is awkward to see Governor Herbert suggest that HB 197 is a good reason to oppose the proposed medical cannabis initiative. This bill was initially voted down and was only barely revived after its sponsor, Representative Daw, pleaded with the colleagues not to kill the bill. This strong opposition suggests that it is not the ideal path that Herbert claims. In fact, the bill establishes a government monopoly, which is never a good idea, people, on the production of cannabis and requires the government to set its prices. Hardly a conservative free market approach." So you might have your R next to your name, but you don't fucking believe in free market. You don't believe in the principles of the Republican Party.
They never do.
They're authoritarian. We've been over this. The modern Republican Party is authoritarian, and that's it.
It says, even worse, the cannabis is only available to Utahns who are already at death's door, like we said earlier. Not the thousands who suffer and are scared of overdosing on opiates. This narrow and highly regulated step is not what people from Utah want, as repeatedly expressed in numerous polls.
Hi. As a female who experiences severe menstrual pain every once in a while, and no, not every month, but sometimes it's so severe that ibuprofen doesn't fucking work for me. And I have found in the past, and not currently, that marijuana has lessened the pain.
Yeah, it's funny that.
I don't like marijuana as a recreational drug. And yes, I've used it as a recreational drug. Didn't like it. It wasn't my thing. I am not judging anyone who does.
No, it's terrific for pain relief.
But when my pain was insurmountable, I was able to utilize marijuana. And for whatever reason, my brain felt the pain. I could feel the cramps happening, but the pain didn't hit my brain. Yeah. And that it mattered a lot.
Good guy marijuana.
I mean, I'm not terminal. I'm not dying. Right. This is my body. This is my genetic. It hurt really bad. It's inconsistent. But God damn it, something helped. Something helped.
Right.
I can't. And I'm apparently unworthy of that kind of relief. But opioids.
Yeah.
Opioids,
oh yeah.
Which,
let's talk about that. That fucking pisses me off. You guys, people, they get so they're so fucking up in arms about the opioid epidemic and the opioid crisis, but they're not fucking willing to do the one thing that has been shown time and time and time again through research that this will help.
Suffering.
Yeah.
They thrive on suffering. The Republicans and the Christians, they thrive on suffering.
What I don't get is why they're not all over this, because they've already seen a couple of states do the legalization thing, and they've seen how much money it brings in. What I don't understand is why they're not just salivating.
Suffering.
Well, and the really interesting part here is that we have 77% of Utahns support legal medical cannabis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a big fucking number.
That's a huge number.
You had a guy. You had a guy. Did. He was
we didn't
there. He had white hair and a weird haircut, and he was a delightful human being.
He was. Yeah, he really was.